Oh my gosh, well, yellow, they're so happy. I mean, I just said yellow.
Yellow.
They are just such a happy flower, and people will have thrown seeds everywhere. So every corner you turn on Nantucket at the end of April, filled with daffodils. I mean, you cannot look one place and it not be yellow and happy.
Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of In Bloom. I'm your host, Abby. I basically wanted to create this podcast to talk about all things wellness, specifically sort of random or unconventional things people do that bring them joy and help with their overall mindfulness. So today's guest is the perfect example of this. We have Tess here who is going to be chatting with us all about the Nantucket Daffodil Festival.
Thanks so much for having me on today. I'm so excited to be here and talk about Nantucket's Daffy Day.
How are you doing, Tess?
I am fantastic. I went for a walk this morning. It was very beautiful out today. A little chilly, but perfect.
I know, it's finally starting to get a little fall.
Which I'm ready for.
I can see the leaves. They're wanting to change.
Yeah, and I'm done wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I want my cute fall outfit.
Yeah, I'm over it. I want sweaters. I want jeans.
Not this.
Yeah. So, can you kind of introduce yourself to the listeners, talk about your involvement with Nantucket, how you found yourself there in general?
Yeah, so I am originally from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I grew up going to Nantucket during the summer times when I was a young girl. My parents, they started going in their 20s, and it kind of just never stopped in the McCarthy family. It's been a really special place for my family. If you ever visit the McCarthy household, our house is decorated with Nantucket memorabilia.
I'll have to come see.
Oh my gosh, yeah, everyone, it's the known thing. So when I was doing my undergraduate, I ended up getting an internship at a small nonprofit called the Mariah Mitchell Association, and from there, after I graduated, just started working, and it was a great experience living on the island full time, and definitely a very unique place to live.
That sounds like such an awesome experience. I feel like that is the perfect place to move away to for a short while and just kind of live a very different lifestyle to one of Raleigh, North Carolina. So talk to me a little bit about the Daffodil Festival. What is it? How did it start?
Yeah, so the Daffodil Festival happens every year. This past year, it was the 48th annual Daffodil Festival.
Wow.
So it's been a thing on Nantucket for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of that point in the season where everyone's a little tired. We're ready for the spring weather. Nantucket is known to have kind of, I wouldn't say dark winters, but definitely it's the classic cloudy, rainy Nantucket. So the Daffodil Festival happens every year at the end of April, and it's that time where everyone's ready for the spring weather, ready for summer. We're getting ready for the season. Mm-hmm. If you don't know, Nantucket is very seasonally driven. We have about 4 to 6 months, I would say, to make as much money as we can to kind of sustain us for the next half of the year. And we call it Daffy Festival. That's the short name. And on Saturday, everyone comes into town and we all celebrate those first moments of spring where the blue skies are out. It is a little warmer. We can not wear big, giant, puffy jackets. And it's a great community event.
That sounds so fun. How would you describe the atmosphere of the festival to someone who's never been?
Ooh, that's such a good question. I would say the first thing you notice is the green and yellow outfits. I mean, they are everywhere. People, if you don't know, Daffies are yellow. And people basically dress up and, yellow jackets, green pants, you name it, people have it. And people that have been around season after season will have 2021 Daffy Festival. They have their merch. So
they're ready. This
they
is their
are ready.
runway.
Yes, and there's a lot of kid activities going on. We have the beach bike parade, which is when kiddos will dress up their bikes and make them themed to something Daffy or Nantucket related. There's a car parade there, and then there's a Sconset picnic, which is so much fun. So it's a lot of activities happening, and it's all planned by the town. And it's just a great community event where thousands and thousands of people join.
Daffodils are obviously a very cute little yellow flower. They're very bright, very cheerful. So what is it about daffodils in particular that you feel like makes them such a great symbol for the festival?
Oh my gosh, well, yellow, they're so happy. I mean, I just said yellow.
Yellow!
They are just such a happy flower, and people will have thrown seeds everywhere. So every corner you turn on Nantucket at the end of April, filled with daffodils. I mean, you cannot look one place and it not be yellow and happy, which I think we all need at that time of the year. And so I don't know like how Daffodil Festival started, but I'm
Yeah.
sure it's some random lady had them in her lawn, and I don't know, it's like this should become a thing. But I think for us it's like, okay, we made it through the winter and now it's time to enjoy this beautiful weather that's coming on the island. But I just think it's a great representation of, you know, we've done the hard work and now it's time to be joyful and happy.
I love that. And I love that over the years, it's kind of become synonymous with like spring, happy,
Yeah.
light. Like, it's kind of like your own delayed Groundhog Day. Like,
Yeah, it is in a way.
yeah.
But yeah, Daffodil Festival is just, it's such a good community event because while tourists do come, and tourists are great for Nantucket, but while they do come, it's not as much as in the summer season. So it really does feel like everyone from Nantucket is coming out of their homes and celebrating. And you see everyone you haven't seen for a while, or it's a very small town feel. So everyone works with everybody. So you'll see people you've done projects on and you haven't seen them in a while because they've been stuck in their homes.
Yeah.
So it's fun just to get out and see everybody.
I feel like it reminds me, like, I'm picturing, like, I don't know if you watch Gilmore Girls, but, like, I'm picturing, like, Stars Hollow. Like,
Yes.
it's the town festival. Like, every person from every aspect of the town is there. Like,
Yes.
you have, like, the, like, town bakery. They're, like, have donuts at the festival. Like,
And some people love it, and some people
Yeah.
want to stay inside and like have nothing to do with it, and that's
giving Luke.
Yeah, giving Luke. I just started watching Gilmore Girls. So good.
Oh my God, is it for the like?
For the first time ever.
That is so exciting.
I know. Perfect timing
This
for
is
the fall.
perfect timing for the fall.
Yeah.
I feel like every fall it always comes back around my For You page, and so I'm getting all the Gilmore Girls TikToks, and that's just like what.
And I'm in love with Luke. He's great.
Yeah.
Grouchy but sweet.
Yes, and that's exactly the small town feel that I'm kind of picturing. Do you feel like the festival reflects the spirit of Nantucket?
So if you think about Daffies, they normally are coming out at the end of a cold season, right? And so us on Nantucket, we kind of have to live through the cold to be able to live on like such a beautiful island that it is. And I think it speaks such volumes about who the Nantucket people are. I mean, they are incredibly hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a person on that island that lives year round that is not like working their butts off or have worked their butts off and now gracefully retired to like live on that island. It's
A hardworking community.
It's a totally hardworking community. Everyone that I've worked with on the island for the past year, I mean, you're just amazed at what they do and how much they do, and in such a small place as it is. So, daffodils come up and it's at the end of a cold season, and then they have to survive a little bit of more cold because you think about it, there's always a frost that comes up when those flowers bloom, and so
it's like the fall spring.
Yeah, and so I think it's, but they're so happy and cheerful. And so even in the winter when it's cold and it is freezing, and I'm talking like wind chill 30, you're not having a good time, but like you hang out with people and you love your day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So Daffies are kind of the same. Like they're bright and they're cheery and they're coming up and just kind of enjoying the weather, whatever happens.
Yeah, I love that. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but like, how does it make you feel if you were to turn the corner and you just saw like a field full of daffies?
Oh my gosh, I feel like there's no words to describe it. It would just be like a happy, joyful face and just staring at it. Well, I think obviously for me, like Daffy Festival is such a memorable time. So if I looked at a field, I would just think of Nantucket in that special moment. And I think that relates to most flowers. Like you relate certain flowers with certain times in your life. Like for me, I love daffodils, and I love
Hydrangeas?
no,
Peonies?
no,
I'll stop.
daisies. I love daisies. Okay, the reason I love daisies, they are my most favorite flower. And flowers remind me of specific times in my life. Like for me, daffodils are always going to remind me of Nantucket. Hydrangeas always remind me of Nantucket. And you have certain moments in your life where those flowers make you recognize that point. And so I think I would just turn back to Nantucket.
Yeah, I love
A memory
that.
wave would come to me.
Yeah. I feel like flowers are so sort of similar to songs. Like, you listen to a song and it transports you back.
Yeah.
And I feel like especially with the smell of flowers, the smell of peonies always reminds me of dance competitions because my mom's best friend would always bring me a bouquet of peonies after I danced. And I think now, like later in my adult life, I'll be like going through my day, and if I like see peonies or like catch a whiff, then I'm like transported back to that moment, and I think of not only like how I was feeling during those moments, but it also reminds me of my mom's friend, and I'm like, oh, like I should check in with her. Oh, I should whatever. So I feel like flowers are good at grounding people and like reminding them of different moments, because I feel like there are a lot of cheerful moments that are enhanced with flowers.
Yeah, and like my house has always been filled with flowers. It's my dad always gets my mom's flowers, and we go to the farmer's market and there's flowers. So there's definitely certain like bouquet styles too that remind me of certain moments. Like in Christmas, we get this bouquet and it always has like a little house, like a Christmas house. I don't know if you've seen those, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like filled with flowers around it.
That's so cute. So take me back to this last Daffy Day. Walk me through the day. What was it like for you? I want to hear all about it.
Yeah, so funny enough, the week leading up to Daffy Day was rainy and miserable and not fun. And so we all knew Daffy Day was coming up, and we were nervous that the blue skies would not come out. But we woke up on Saturday, the blues were blooming, and it was such a good day. So we basically started off and we went downtown and we saw the antique car parade where everyone decorates their car. And everyone just laughs and giggles, and you're saying hi, and you have your coffee in your hand, and you're taking photos, and it was so much fun. And then you have a little break, you get your sandwich from Something Natural, you get your snack, and you drive down to Sconset where they have the Sconset picnics. And they closed down the entire street, and me and my friends just got a sandwich, sat on the side of the road, ate it, and walked around all these picnics, and everyone lets you eat whatever you want. Like, you can go up to someone random and chit chat with them, and they say, yeah, take a sandwich, or like take this little snack. And so that's what we did. We just munched off of everybody's little picnics and had a little champagne, and it was so much fun. And it's packed. Like, it's probably a mile long, and you like can't see in front of you. There's so many people. So, but it's fun. It's not like bad festival, if you know what I mean. Like, sometimes you go to festivals and it's not the experience you want it to be.
Yeah.
But I think because everyone's just so happy that the good weather's here, it's just the best time ever. But yeah, the picnic was great, and it was a fun time to just relax, and we're obviously all in the time to prep for the summer season. So it's nice to have a moment that relaxes you, and it's just so happy. But then on Monday morning, you are getting ready for the season all again. So
ready to go.
Ready to go.
Sounds awesome. I might have to travel up there for.
I think we should.
Or like next year for the 50th anniversary. Like,
yes, it's gonna be.
Or 2 years.
Crazy.
They're gonna go all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tess, thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Thanks so much for having me.
I really appreciate you talking about all things Nantucket and Daffy Day. I feel like this was such a great glimpse into the community of Nantucket and how flowers really spruce up life on the island. Thank you all so much for listening to the first episode of In Bloom. I'm your host, Abby, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.